Hi everybody, this is Bogus Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a Throwback Thursday review on the McFarlane Toys Collectors Club exclusive Spawn I.30 figure, or as it's also known, the Hanging Spawn figure. So Spawn does come with an art card and base right here. That's the only other accessories that he comes with. You can see a recreation of the issue 30 cover right there. And again, just like with Billy Kincaid that I reviewed last week, it's just done on this very flimsy cardboard. I definitely wish it would have been done on a sturdier material. The backdrop is made of the same material as this. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at Spawn. So taking a look at this figure, I think McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job of recreating the cover art to issue 30 right there. You can see that on the backdrop they even left Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo's signatures right there. I just think it does have some differences, but I think for the most part it's a faithful recreation of the cover. Whoever sculpted this at McFarlane Toys did a really good job at bringing that cover to life in figure form. It just looks really good. From the backdrop looking like the actual cover of the comic, to the logo popping out like it's 3D up here. It does have this rod that's attached in the back that makes it stand out, and I think that looks really good. Once this is assembled, it just looks great. So if you want to see it from the side, it does look kind of funny from the side. You can see the very flimsy cardboard that's used for the backdrop right there, as well as the plastic part that holds him up on the back. Most of it is done in plastic, but you do get these metal rods that attach into his back and keep the logo up like that. You can see that there is still tape residue from this being in the package for so long. But because of the metal rods, I think they hold Spawn up really good. They give him the illusion that he's actually floating there. So I think they're pretty sturdy and they keep him up. It looks really good. It was a bit tricky to assemble. You know, I was really afraid that I was going to break these really flimsy plastic pieces on the back. But once it's together, it looks incredible. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Spawn off of this. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this. You can see the bullet hole in his head there and where it came out of the back. And the paint for the necroplasm on this looks really good. You get some touches of dark green as well as this really light green color and the blood running down the back of his head, or the necroplasm I should say. And that looks really good. McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this head sculpt. And surprisingly, the noose that's around his neck is actually real rope with bendy wire ran up through it. I really thought this was just sculpted. I thought it was like a plastic type piece. But no, it's actually bendy wire. Now, the end of it was fraying, so I did put a little touch of glue on it. That way it would stop fraying. But yeah, I think that looks so good because they did use real material instead of just sculpting it on. They also did a very awesome job at sculpting and painting his body. I think most of him is actually cast in black, and he has this really nice blue variation over top of him. It just brings the details on his muscles out very nicely. The paint detail on this figure is crazy, just like with all of the classic McFarlane figures. I also love the way the muscles are sculpted on his sides. You get a bit of a black wash, and it looks like an airbrushed dark red tone over top of this red color. So all the variation there looks really good. I think McFarlane Toys did a really awesome job on that. You also get real chains, which I really love about McFarlane Toys. I definitely wish the chains would have been just a little bit longer though. If you've read the story and seen the cover art here, you can see that the chains are wrapped quite a few times around him. So I definitely think the chains could have been a little bit longer. This is one instance where he really needed some long chains. But at least you can wrap them at least once around his wrists there. I think that looks decent for the most part. I also think the texturing on his cape looks really good. So his cape is actually in two pieces. This piece that's glued to him, and then the piece that's attached back there on the backdrop. And I love the textured lines on this. I want to say it's cast in black and has red paint over top of it. But either way, it still looks really good. Those textured lines look incredible. And the backdrop has that as well. Or the cape on the backdrop, I should say. You can see that it has the textured lines, but it doesn't have any paint variation on it. I definitely wish it would have had a black wash like this has. Or it was cast in black and red painted over top of it to give the illusion of a black wash. The way that they painted the pouches on also looked really good. This is just cast in the same color as his leg, that black plastic, but the red paint over top of it looks really good. They painted it in a way that there's still some black showing through, but it's only on the wrinkles, so it almost looks like paint variation on the wrinkles there. That looks really good. And I forgot to mention, just like with his cape, you get textured lines on the bands on his wrists and on his leg right here with the spikes. They have silver painted over top of them, and that looks really good. See, that has the same texturing and collar, that metallic red collar. So yeah, this figure looks really good. McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on it. As I said, there are some liberties, like the cape not being exact and the chains not being quite long enough to wrap all the way around him. But I still think it looks really, really cool. And surprisingly, he does have articulation. So he does have a swivel neck that can really just move to the left like that. Can't really move to the right at all. And he has swivel thighs. The left side doesn't move, but the right side does, very slightly. So honestly, I don't think McFarlane Toys really needed to give him any articulation, because you're mainly just going to have him hanging there. But yeah, he does have 3 points of articulation for whatever reason. So overall, I think this is a really cool figure, or articulated statue. This really isn't a figure. But I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this, and hopefully everyone that wants one got one when it first came out, because it is incredibly hard to get and incredibly expensive now. It was a very infamous figure even when it was first released, and honestly, all these years later, it still is, so I don't think the price is going to go down at all. But if you have the money, then I would definitely recommend picking this up, because this is one of the coolest Spawn figures that I have. This and Nightmare Spawn are probably my two favorite figures. I think McFarlane Toys just did a really good job on this. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.